Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we've had a problem.
Hey there folks, and welcome to this week's Rambling, which is kind of a show and tell more than is anything else. When I moved, as I did in April, well, end of March, beginning of April, I bought as much as I could for the flat at the time, and an awful lot of things went into cupboards and hidden places because I didn't really have anywhere to put them. And a lot of those things were collectibles and knickknacks and things that I want to have displayed in my home, but I just haven't got around to buying the cabinets for and such like. To my left, your right, my left, I don't know. Here, just beside the TV, so in this area here, I'd like to have a tall, slim, black sort of cabinet, black with glass, where I can display a number of things which I'm about to go through and show to you all. And it's nice. Like I'm not a collector so far as and only through cost, because whenever I see sort of Uber editions of games that are being released with the extras and and the statues and everything, I'd love to get them when they come out, but it's just money more than anything else. When it boils down to it, every time I think about it, up until now has been, well, I'm saving for the flat, or I'm saving for bits for the flat, or I'm saving to pay something or whatever. But all of that's kind of gone now. I don't have any of those worries. So my collecting it will take a turn in the way that I will buy more than I have been in the past. And a lot of the things that I have are actually gifts that I've got for Christmases and birthdays and so on. So I haven't bought an awful lot of it myself, but I will do. I think I'll start investing, not now, but once I've got more bits for the flat and stuff, I'll most certainly think about buying more in the way of collectibles for games and stuff. And this isn't I'm not a collector that wants to keep things in boxes and it's all for the sake of making something in 10 years time be worth something, or 20 years time. I'm not a fan of it. I understand why people do it. I understand why they want to keep it pristine, but if I buy something, I want to be able to use, I want to display it. I want to see it as it's meant to be seen, not stuck in a box just because in 20 years' time it's going to be more valuable in a box. I'm not. I mean, money doesn't mean that much to me that would worry me. I'm not bothered. I want to have enough money to enjoy my life. I don't want to be not enjoying things that I've bought to have displayed in my home, sitting in a box rather than actually out in a. So I'd rather see them in a display cabinet, or on, as I have. Some of the things I have are actually used as bookmarks or what have you. I'll show you that all in a second. So, some of it's, to be honest, actually, a lot of the stuff I have is movie orientated, but I do have some game stuff. And some of it is knickknacks rather than collectibles. A few bits of knickknacks. I do have, a fair few bits now that are probably deemed as collectibles. So we shall crack on, and I shall show you some. So we'll start with the smaller knick-knacky type bits and get them out. I'm going to have to put my beer down, which is just, what? That's unheard of. Although, having said that, I always just hold it when I'm talking to you. I never actually drink it, do I? So, there you are. We'll cope, I suppose. So you'll notice, all right, let's start with the really tiny bits that are more knickknacks than they are. Well, they may become collectibles, you never know, but they are knickknacks that were given as presents and what have you. But there's two very small things which are game orientated, which were, my friend Barry brought these back from, I think it was EGX or something. And there's a little Unfold guy, or whatever it's called. Is it called Unfold? I can't remember now. Little key ring with this chappy on it. Which just hangs a lot. So these smaller things kind of they sit on my computer desk, which is just here, where the microphone is actually the microphone's on an arm that attaches to the computer desk, so the computer desk is there right next to me. So all of these things kind of sit there in one way or another, one fashion or another, and I kind of love that little thing. I'm not a big fan of the game or anything, but I just like the little keyring. I thought it was really cool. And there was also, same guy, Barry, brought me this back from the same place. which is a badge for a jacket. I'd be really tempted to put it on my denim jacket if it wasn't a proper Levi one. But it's a Titanfall badge, a proper material and everything. It's not like a sticky thing. It's one that you actually stitch onto a piece of clothing. So they're just tiny little things that came back from a games convention, and I was really grateful for them. We brought back a few other bits as well, just sort of pens and stuff and what have you, but they all take pride of place in the corner of my computer desk, much as some of the other little bits that I'm about to show you do. And this little keyring, I adore this little keyring. I got this as a gift as well. This wasn't like a free from a loot session at a Gamescom thing. This was a proper bought little present. And it's a little TARDIS on a keyring, and it's really weighty. There's some real weight to it. It's proper metal, and again it takes pride of place up on the computer desk, and it hangs from I've got like a jug. Well, it's not a jug. It's not a jug. It's a German beer. Hang on a minute. Wait there. I'll show you. Play some music while everyone's waiting. All right, so they hang here. So the little TARDIS tends to just hang off of this pencil here, like so. And I've got all my pens and things in there. So yeah, I have like little places where I put stuff. The little paperclip guy goes in much of the same place, but on the pen here. So they kind of that's how they live during the average working day, as it were. And I might as well leave them there now. But that little keyring there. The reason this is in pride of place. This cup is because it's all the way from Germany, and it's a Labori 1993 festive. What's the word I'm looking for? Beer tankard, sort of thing. It's made of clay, I think. And we had many of these in Germany. And my mum and dad brought many of them back, and I got this one. And they've got loads at their house. So yeah, it's just a really. I think that's Paderborn. Yeah, that's Paderborn, which is the city the town that we lived in. San Lago, which was just outside of Paderborn. So that was the town that we went to do all of our shopping and stuff. So it's just a little. It's just a memory that holds all of these little knickknacks and things. I'll put it back, shall I? And we'll get on with more. Right then. And we've got a few other little knick-knack bits, but we've got the more recent R2-D2. Now R2-D2, I haven't actually plugged him in yet. I got this as a gift again, and it's a desktop R2-D2, and I think it's a Hoover, like a desktop Hoover or something. So I have no idea what he does when I plug him in because I've never tried it. It sort of sits at the side on top of the computer's beside the desk, so it sits down. I've never actually plugged him in. But it's just a little Star Wars collectible, which I really liked. Well, it's not. Again, not a collectible, more of a knick-knack, really. So that, and you'll notice behind me there's a few bits missing. That's normally there in that corner if you're a regular watcher of me vlogs, and it's the Stormtrooper head, which is this fella. And a gift again. And he lights up. I don't know if you'll see it in this light. Oh yeah, you can. There you go. So it lights up, just takes little batteries in the bottom, and he lights up. So whenever I'm recording my videos and he's sat behind me, I tend to turn the lamp on, and he sort of glows in the back. That's why he looks so white in the background in most of the videos that I do. But I love that. And it was hidden away in the bedroom. I think you'll notice in some of the earlier vlogs he's not sat behind me, and I thought, why is he in the bedroom? I might as well be on top of the other stuff back here. So yeah, I mean it's not like it's just a plastic head, but it just looks fantastic. I mean there's nothing particularly fantastic about it, and I don't think it's particularly expensive. But it's just a great little thing to have to put wherever I may put all of my bits and pieces that are game orientated, which at the moment is behind me, or film orientated behind me. And we have, moving on, then these bits now are probably more collectibles now. because I have noticed these pitching up at games conventions and stuff with quite a big price tag on them now, because you can't buy them anymore. They're not manufactured anymore. So the people that own them or in packets are selling them for quite a bit of money, which is a bit of a shame. But again, it's that thing where people hang on to them or collect and then sell them for some silly price later on. And the first of those was when the Lord of the Rings films came out. And again, behind me, you'll notice those 3 DVD sets back here. That's the 3 Lord of the Rings extended editions. And I went out of my way every time they released the extended edition to buy the ones that came with the statues and the little models and stuff with them. And in doing that, the actual box that the DVDs came in was a better box as well. They actually had a full seal, like a proper book, rather than the sort of flimsier cardboard you got with the standard box set ones. So there was that's a really nice set, that, and much as though I actually have the Blu-ray edition, which comes in a big gold case, I always preferred this because it looked like books, and I surround them with, as you'll probably have noticed, again, if you're an avid watcher, because they're missing from back here. And this was the first collectible that came with the Lord of the Rings sets for the Hobbit, Fellowship of the Ring, is the 2 chappies with their arms out. I'll try and get them close to the camera there. And they're really weighty again, proper heavy. Now, I was gutted because I put these on top of that thing. The place I just moved from, it was on a big chest. And the chest was above a radiator, and I turned around after I opened the window and I clattered the side of the DVD, the Blu-ray holder, or the game holder. What is it called, people? Whatever that is there, I clattered the side of it, and these toppled, and this one fell off the side. And you see there that his hand's missing. Like, that one's got a hand and that one hasn't. Now, I did find the hand, and it's sellotaped to the bottom here. So I'm hoping that I can maybe get it reattached, but they're very delicate at the ends. Those hands are really, really thin. So I don't know how well I can get it redone. But, to some extent, it looks a bit authentic. Like these old things have always got a bit fallen off them, haven't they? Like, you look at a sphinx and half of its face is missing and stuff. So, or Greek statues with no arms. That's how I'll play it, So there you are. So that was the first set, and they're really good. And I used them to go either side of the DVD sets. And yeah, I love those. I love all of the 3 models that came with it. Put these down here. Second one, because we all know that the second Lord of the Rings film, The Two Towers, was very Gollum related, wasn't it? And the thing that came with the box set was Gollum himself. A little statue with him holding a fish. And I love this little statue, I really do. I think it's fantastic. You actually get the proper little look on his face as well. It's brilliant. It's a really, really well designed little piece of... Well, I say little, it's a proper good size as well. If you look at it in relation to the microphone, it's not a small ornament. And again, these actually... this sits along with the next one I'll show you up in there's like a bookcase in the wall, and it sits there beside the books. And yeah, I absolutely adore that. It's fantastic. And then the third one that came was... We seem to lose a little padding foot on the bottom of that. I don't know what that's all about. It seems to come with little padding circles on the bottom, and they're just sort of fading away. I don't know why they're there, to be honest. It might as well just sit on the... I think it's to protect the writing that's on the bottom, perhaps. So it came with these little black... They're just little rubber things that were stuck on. So not worry too much about it, not? I'm sure he'll survive. As long as it's not his head that falls off, we'll be alright. Actually, let's just rewind. No, we won't. We'll show you the last of these first, and then I'll rewind slightly to 3 more knickknacks, and then we'll move on to some more collectibles. So the Return of the King set came with... Minas Tirith, isn't it? Pretty sure. I'm having a mind blank from Lord of the Rings, but I'm pretty sure it's Minas Tirith. And yeah, so it's the city, and it's actually a it's like a jewelry box or something. It's like a holder. So you take the top off, and it's got like this little place where you can store it. And it's got the white tree that only blooms when the king has returned. And it's all like felt inside, like really nice material, and there as well on the bottom there. And that just sits and connects really snugly, and you can use it as a bookend because it's really flat here, and that's exactly what I use it for. I have it pinning up a set of books in the bookshelf most of the time. So I'm really delighted with the collection. I mean, if for any reason, God forbid, that I ever was to get robbed or burgled or whatever, I honestly don't know how I would replace those because they are particularly rare, and I don't know how an insurance company would deal with it because, you know, I bought each of the sets for whatever they were at the time, probably £30 or something, and they must probably get £100 now, surely, at least, I think, for a new set. So yeah, I've always been curious as to how to work my insurance with things like this because my standard house insurance should cover it. I mean, it's not like it's £1 million, but anyway. Yeah, so the knickknacks that I was talking about. There's 3 other knickknacks that sit on my desk in pride of place there. And we have my desktop Dalek. He's actually really cool because when you turn him on, he scoots around the desk and he has a sensor on him. So the minute he's going to bump into something, he turns and says exterminate and so on. And he will never fall off the desk. Just keeps moving around the desk all over the place. So it's quite cool. I mean, I rarely ever turn it on, of course, but it's very, very cool. And really weighty. It's a good quality, that as well, because I've seen other little Daleks that are just dead plasticky and what have you, but it's quite a weighty little thing, that. And we've got a little TARDIS to go with him. The little TARDIS isn't electronic though, it's just it was one of those where you pull it back and it spins, but when it goes forward it spins side to side. And then we have this was an interesting one because my dad, he was out shopping one day and there was one of those it's like a charity. There was like a charity table at Tesco or something, or I can't remember exactly where it was, but there was a charity table. They had all these bits in it, and they said, "Oh, if you take part in the raffle, you'll get one of these. You know, you might get one of these prize." Anyway, it only cost him £1, and he came back with it was a DVD set of one of the series of Red Dwarf, and it was one of those that came with a little toy with it, and it's the little ship. It's a little shuttle ship, isn't it? It's not Red Dwarf itself. It's the little shuttle ship they used to fly down to planets and stuff. And I'm not the world's biggest Red Dwarf fan, although I've been watching the new ones that they've just released, and they are quite funny. But I just love this little thing, and it's really weighty. It's metal. It's not plastic. So it was a great little ornament, and I set it up there. The three of those things I just showed you all sit together, sort of side by side. So I really liked that. So we shall move on to some of the more collectible items. Well, I don't know which ones to show you first because I'll tell you what, I will show you my pride of place game ones first because there's only 2 of them and they are related, and then the last set are all related. So these were a gift, and they take pride of place in the bookshelf right at the top, and so you can see them when you walk into the living room. And they are from one of my favourite games of all time. And the suspense is killing everyone. It's Isaac Clarke from Dead Space 2. We're not going to talk about Dead Space 3. Stop it. So 1 and 2 of my favourite games of all time. Absolutely adore them. And this chappie, again, he's a good size. If you look at him compared to the size of the microphone, he's a decent size chappie. And he's got the little gun that comes with him. And he's got his med. But now someone might be able to tell me this who collects these sorts of things. But when I first got it, there's a little button at the back here. When you push that down, his visor and his health pack used to light up just like they do in the game. Now, obviously, the battery's run out. Now, I barely used it, but whatever battery was in it's obviously just drained. So, I guess my question to anyone who might have something similar is, how do you change the battery? Now, I can see a number of screws in the back, but because that's on a part that has the button on it, it's all quite connected, so I'm not overly sure whether I might bust it if I try and take it apart, because I'm not gonna be pressing it, you know. But anyway, you know, it'd be nice to know that I could change the battery and it would just work. But yeah, so he's very, very cool, and he came with well, I think they were separate ornaments, I'm not sure. Yeah, no, they were separate. Necro. So they stand sort of opposite each other, facing each other on the top of the bookshelf there. And the Necro is a weird shape, so he can't really stand by himself. So he comes with it's a little black stand that he sits on, like so, and he stands on that. That keeps him upright. And they are most likely my most favourite collectibles, I think, just because of the game connection that I love so much. They're just fantastically created. They're really well designed as well. I mean, they're spot on from the game. Brilliant. I mean, you know, I'm not, you know, it's a good job I live on my own, isn't it? I'm not sure many girlfriends would let me keep it in the room. The things coming out of its stomach and everything, the hands. It's fantastic. So yeah, there you are. Those are my two most favourite, probably out of the whole collection, probably my most favourite. Certainly for the games ones anyway. But I would really like to get more game stuff. The next set of stuff I'm going to show you is film orientated, and you'll see why. So we'll start with the smaller bits. So this is all Star Wars related. Now, I did say somewhere in this video that I'm not a fan of people keeping things in boxes. Now, the only reason that these are still in boxes, all of these things I'm about to show you, is because I haven't bought this cabinet yet, and I didn't want them just lying around. So they were bought not long. Well, they were given and bought not long before I moved, and I decided at that point I wasn't going to unpack them until I'd moved and that I had a display cabinet to put it all in. So this first one's a little Millennium Falcon. It was dead cheap. It was only about £10, something like that, and it's just a little Hot Wheels Millennium Falcon. But it feels, I don't know for a fact, but it does feel a little bit weighty. So I do think that it's metal, not plastic, and it comes with a tiny little stand as well that you can sit it on. So it'll be good to sit that in the display cabinet. You know, all of these little things tend to come with the little stands that they can sit on. So they're quite good for that. This particular one is actually meant that the stand can actually be a stand, or if you were a child buying these things, which I am just a large child anyway, I guess, but you can put it on your finger, fly it around the room. There you are, eh? So to go with the Millennium Falcon, we have the proper collectible ones, which all come in these little black boxes. Now this one is the titanium Imperial Shuttle. Rather gorgeous. And these all have numbers, like that's number 25, so I suspect that if I go Googling things and Amazon searching things, or as it happens, these were from Tesco, had them in one of their, well, it was a big Tesco, and they had a big section of toys, and they were all kind of in there. And we also have another shuttle, but this one, that's Kylo Ren's shuttle from the newer films. Number 3. So that's quite cool. And then, of course, I had to have the Star Destroyer. Star Destroyer? Yeah, Star Destroyer. Look at the box, Steve. It tells you. Star Destroyer. You think I'd know after, 100 years of loving Star Wars. Well, I'm not that old. And again, these are all quite weighty. They proper collectible little items, those. They will take pride of place in this cabinet once I get it. And last but not least, I saved the two of the best ones till last. So we have, first off the bat, these are proper heavy. And these are the die-cast models. And these came from the Disney shop. And we have the Flame Trooper. Now these are pretty big. Again, if you look at them against the size of the mic. Flame Trooper, who comes with flamethrower on his back and everything. Although I don't think it's on his back, is it? Oh yeah, it is. It's already on his back. And he's got a different helmet and everything to the standard Stormtrooper. Very cool. And again, I mean, they look great in their boxes. The boxes are really good, but I'm really looking forward to having them out of the box in the cabinet. And finally, if I'm going to have a Flame Trooper, well, I have to have a Stormtrooper. Now, these, I would love to collect more of these and get, you know, possibly the Darth Vader or Kylo Ren, or, you know, there'll be loads of different ones. I'm hoping I can pick up some more of these. I don't know what the ones that, I mean, I haven't been looking because I didn't want to, you know, look at stuff I didn't want to buy at the time. So if they've got ones that are actually the faces, you know, of the characters like Rey or Finn or whatever, I'd be interested to see what their facial imagery looks like, you know. So I'm hoping that I can pick up a number of these to go in the display cabinet with all the other stuff. And I'll give you a close-up of that. It comes with a gun and 2 guns, I think. One's a rifle, one's a standard gun, I think. There you are. Again, these don't have numbers, I don't think. Just the ships. I think we know what they are. And they do come with a stand as well. At the very back there, I don't know if you can see it, right behind the Stormtrooper, there's a disc that they can stand on. So that's quite cool. I apologise in this video if I've been going backwards away from the mic and everything. Just one of those where I'm picking things up. I didn't really have like a table to put everything on. So I've kind of got things on a couch, on a little buffet next to me, and all sorts of places. So there you are. So there's the last one. I'm going to show it again. So there you are. So that's my little collection at the moment. I do have other knickknacks and other things, but they're not movie or game related. I have sort of a Mountie from Canada and a little Irish guy from Ireland and all these sorts of things. But I love knickknacks. I love collectibles. I love, you know, just these little quirky things, isn't it, that you have around, like I have them around my computer desk and what have you. Behind the TV, I'd love to get or I will at some point, get a big picture relevant to gaming in some way, but I'd like to pick a picture that I like and get a big canvas made of it or something like that. Or do something quite cool with a big picture that's something to do with gaming that has a touch of class to it. Don't want something too cheesy. I mean, it could even, you know, it might end up something like a massive Harley Quinn or, you know, some sort of Batman type thing or some sort, you know, even comic related I might go with. But I will do more like this background that I've decided to do these vlogs in this position because the one thing I have that shows anything off is over here. Once the display cabinet is there, which is still a little ways away, but once it's there, that'll be behind me, and then if I get a picture. So it'll all become more interesting if I do these things in a backdrop sense, you know. You see a lot of people doing vlogs and they're in like a room that's just wall to wall full of games and knickknacks, and, you know, it's nice to see those sort of things behind it rather than just a cream wall, which is what I've got at the moment. Or in my earlier videos, it was the couch and the the picture of Paris, which is on the other wall, which is just a nice filler for the wall at the time. So there you are. There, it was kind of I was thinking about doing this video for a little while because I had it in my mind to buy the display cabinet and all these sorts of things. I thought, oh, maybe I should show off some of the bits I've got. You know, I'm by no means there's a massive collector. You can see that from what I've got, but I'm hoping to collect more now that I'm sort of free to do it. And in the coming years, I'm hoping to collect more, maybe slightly. The thing is, I don't want to buy like I saw somebody showing off like a full-size Gears of War chainsaw gun. It's like, well, that's great, but where the hell am I going to put that that's going to look anywhere sensible? You know, if I had like a man den or something, I don't want it in my living room. So it's not, those sorts of things probably won't appeal to me. But when you're talking about maybe the collectible, you know, the special editions of Uncharted 4 or the special editions of Fallout, these are all things that I didn't buy special editions of, that came with really nice models and statues and knickknacks and all sorts of stuff. I might start looking at those sorts of things, because those are the sorts of things that can look really classy around a home. So without any doubt, I'll be looking at a lot more stuff in the future. So there you are. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you let me know what sorts of things you have in the comments below. And if you have a better collection than me, or even less than I do, but love what you have, it's not about the quantity, folks. It's about the quality and whether or not you love it. It has been an honour and a privilege serving for you all again in this vlog, and I shall see you all next time. You guys take it easy. Bye.